what we will do is we will create a test, which if you do, I think, Command-Shift
in a T,
then it will create a new test.
Whoa!
I know,
nice
right?
Shortcut.
All
That
right.
is so cool.
Why don't you do that? Command-Shift T.
T.
Woohoo! All
Wow!
right. Exactly.
Look at that. I made
you
a
are
test.
like, yeah, that's all I need. So and then you can check the get questions so that we will test it. Yeah.
What? Is this going to auto-generate?
Well, it's going to also generate a skeleton.
Okay. Yeah. So just
So don't get too excited. Yeah. But what we can do is, like, why don't we write a test method that, so I'm going to make a new chat logic that is called chat logic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it with no. How about that? Right. So I have no data.
Okay.
So like, at least we can verify that this does not crash.
Okay. Great.
So now I just have this one single line, and I can run. So to run this test, you can either click this one to run this one method, or we can click this one to run the whole suite. And then it will build. La la la, we need
wow,
music.
this is so really all you're testing right now is
No tests were found. Empty test suite. What? Okay, this is not as easy as we thought.
This might be because before I had some wonderful help to like actually figure this out.
Okay.
I did attempt to make a test here. Is that what's throwing that off? That it thinks that it's empty? Or no, that's not it. Okay.
Test not found. I don't really know what's going on. Let's figure out. Okay, that was not as exciting as I hoped. You should watch this. I just run it again. Look,
Yeah.
I run it again and it ran. I know, right? The classic debugging technique. Do it again. So yay, I ran and it did nothing, which is good because it did not crash.
Okay.
So the next thing that we could verify is, because we have one method, right, that is get questions.
Right.
So we can try to get the questions, and I guess we will assign it to a variable. I don't know if you notice, this is how I usually code. I like make something that doesn't compile and then just alt enter to change it.
Nice.
So now I have a list of
Shortcut.
questions.
Yeah.
I can verify that, I can assert that is not null. So now we can run again. Yay! So basically, yeah, so like, you know, we are verifying really, really basic things, but I think there is value in that because if you didn't verify that when something is null, it crashes, then it may catch you by surprise. So another thing that I usually I can also verify that it's not null and then it contains 0 questions. Right? So this is going to be building up our test suite. So we just have a very base case. So usually in this case, I wouldn't call it test questions because I will probably have another case. Oh, now it's not a good name. So I guess we can say parse. No, I hate naming things. You can name it something better later. So now we have like one. So this is a JUnit test, which is why it only took 2 milliseconds to run.
Right.
And it's not like going through the emulator.
And the whole idea is, I'm gonna say this as though I know, but you're gonna actually correct me.
Okay.
So the whole idea here is that we're testing one thing at a time, like one piece of the logic at a time. Is there a high level of how you like to think about testing or how you like to approach it?
So the smallest unit possible is how I think about it.
Okay.
So right now I'm just testing the logic. I'm not testing user input. I'm not testing, right, like how exactly we are going to be fetching things from the server or anything.
Right.
So and then each test method I try to verify one thing. So this test method is verifying that if I give null as a parameter to the constructor, it does not crash and it will return me an empty list of questions so that the rest of your program can act in a reasonable way. Because the alternative is to have it return null, which is also a valid way to do it, but then you assert null just to make sure that you got that case covered.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other thing that I was trying to get at is the way that you make the input stream in the actual activity is from the asset, right?
The JSON?
Yeah, the JSON.
Yeah.
But in JUnit, you don't have asset because that's an Android construct. So that's the complicated part that I want to show you. Like, how do you get an input stream into this system so that you can make different questions and verify. And then you can do all kinds of fun things like, well, I'll make a malformed JSON and see if it will die or not, which you don't need for this particular hackathon because you will not actually kind of battle test it with giving it strange inputs.
Right.
And especially since you ship the JSON with the app, right? Because if you actually fetch it from the server, then there's a possibility that you will fetch something that is, maybe you're in a captive portal and then it fetch just the page that says, please agree to the terms and conditions. So it's not a JSON file, and then it's just like, I don't know what's happening. So there is value. All I'm saying is there is value in testing, feeding it junk input. But in your case, you don't. I mean, even the null case is not going to happen.
Okay.
But you do need to be able to get your JSON file and put it into the JUnit framework. Because once you have that, then whatever test you write, like you can drive from that data.
Okay.
So with all that, all I'm saying is I don't remember how to do that. So we are going to go to my GitHub repository and find an example, because this is not something I do all the time. Which is actually kind of funny, because that's part of the reason why I do open source, is so that in times like this,
you can refer to your own code.
Exactly, I can search. Basically, if you put things under source test resources, then your test will have access to that, and then I'm just looking for the code to see if...
Wait, can you repeat what you just said? You have to put it, if you put your test under what?
Let me just go back. If you put files under source test resources. So if you look at like one of these directories, it has things that are like a .json file. Then I'm going to read from this .json file.
Got it. Okay, so you need to have the resource in the test file.
In the test source.
Test resources file.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me just kind of look around and find out how I read from the test source, because I don't remember. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So generator dot class dot. Okay, this is very funky, which is why I need every time I do this, I need to come back and look for something that I've done before. Yeah. So this is the way to do it. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to copy this so that I can stick it somewhere. So we are going to make another method. Let's see if I remember how to do this. So if you press Command N. You can also type this all out, but I'm just like showing you all the cool tricks, because I told you I bought a bag of tricks, so I feel obligated that I have to show you. So if you do Command N, that's N for generate. I don't know why N. Then you can ask it to generate a test method. I mean, it just makes it like the signature for you, right? So we can just call it parse JSON.
Yeah, I've used generators for like getters and setters, but I didn't know they could make tests. That's cool.
Yeah. So because I copy and pasted, this weird syntax is how you can get. So we are just going to put it in the top level. So we're basically this line is going to get you an input stream, I believe. Fingers crossed. Yes. Okay. So now if we copy the questions.json file into that magic location that I showed you earlier, which is source test resources, I think. Why is it not going? Oh, it's there already. Yeah. So yeah, if you can create that file and then you will, at this point, we'll just have a copy of your question. So
we want to make a direct copy of this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to remember what file this is in.
Well, if you press the crosshair, then it will show you. Yeah.
So we're like literally just going to copy it.
Yeah, so copy, yeah. And then we may have to make a new directory. If you go back to the chat logic test.java and then you press the crosshair again, that will jump back to the right place. So we will need to do it at the test level. Because right now we're at source test Java and then very deep down. So if you right click on the test,
this one right here.
Yeah, this level. Yeah.
Okay, and then we're pasting it there.
Not yet. We need a directory. So we need to create a directory.
Oh yeah.
Because it's called resources.
That's right.
That's the magic place. I hope I spell everything right because it will not work. So now you can press the lovely Command V to paste the file in.
Perfect. Oh, it's gonna freeze now. There we go.
No.
Question. Should we rename it questions or should we
just make sure it match? I don't.
Okay.
No.
This will be fine.
Okay.
.json.
Yeah.
Cool. Great.
So let's go back to the chat logic test and then run. You can either just run this one method or run the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try it.
Yay. Okay. Let's make sure that it's just doing something. Yay!
Hey,
all right.
worked.
So now, why don't we kind of repeat what we did in the first test? But if you copy and paste the 3 lines, we can see it should fail because we have more than one question.
Oh, because we asserted that it would be 0.
Yeah. So if you copy all those 3 lines in and run it, then you can see if this works. You need the first line too.
Oh, this one too.
Yeah. But instead of now, we'll give it the input stream.
Okay, so this is going to be
the input stream. Yeah, let's run it. Yeah, and then at this point, if you just click the green triangle, it will run the thing that you last run. So it failed because we actually have 12 questions instead of 0.
Perfect.
Yay! So if you change it to 12, then it will pass. Yay! So
let's try it again.
Yeah. So I guess that gives you a flavor of the kind of refactor testing we're going to be doing.
Okay, yeah.
So you're basically pulling our logic into this chat logic class, and then you are going to create your own chat logic outside of the activity, and then you can assert all this behavior, right? Because then probably the next thing we'll do is do the current question thing, and then you will make this. We may or may not even have get questions as a function at that point, because eventually the activity doesn't actually need asset to the set of questions, right? I'm just doing this so that everything still works. Like if suddenly you need to demo in 2 minutes, like your app is not broken. Well, I mean, you have GitHub, you have everything, you know, at a good place. But I like doing it like incrementally like that. So I feel like I should show you at least the part of getting the JSON into your test suite, because right now I live in Android land, right? Like the asset stuff is all in Android. You need an emulator, but now we have, and then you can make different questions smaller, because you're stepping through the test if you want to generate the final thing. Right. I don't know what you want to test, to be honest. I will assume you will actually just test the whole flow, because that's what you're trying to guarantee that it works on your app.
Exactly.
But yeah.